Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane, and today I kind of have a story time for you guys. So we're going to play with some makeup, get ready this morning. I have to go to a meeting in, well, I have to leave in probably a little over an hour, so we gotta kind of move and groove here. I am going to be wearing like a really pretty minty shirt today. Oh my gosh, my cat is going to eat so loud next to me. I apologize. My shirt is kind of minty today, but it's upstairs, so I don't want to disturb the boys just yet till I have to go get dressed. So it's not necessarily a look that I haven't ever done before, but yeah, we are going to be playing mostly with the Blue Blood palette today. And right now my hair is just pinned back so it can kind of set up and add some volume, and I'll brush it out and I gotta run out the door. Today I figured instead of just sitting down and doing my makeup and telling you guys exactly what I was doing, that I would share a little bit of a story time with you. I filmed this video already, this story time, but I filmed it kind of talking in the car, but I figured I would just kind of refilm it and give you guys a different environment instead of like a chit-chat car vlog. Figured I would just share it while doing my makeup this morning. By the way, I am still using that e.l.f. like fiber gel. This morning I used my NYX brow pencil to kind of like make the shape, and then I'm using the fiber gel to brush through my hairs. My son is now, he's not screaming, but he found that he can like yell, and he's just kind of discovering his voice, and I can hear him going off, so there's that. So one thing you have to know about me with this story time is I am absolutely petrified of like open water, or let's say like I'm out on a boat and I jump in the water. I need to get back in the boat as quickly as possible. I don't feel safe. I feel like something is gonna come up and grab me and pull me to the depths of the underworld. I've always been that way ever since I was a little girl. With that being said, well, here's the thing, like I do have that fear, but I'm not like afraid to go out on boats. I have a cruise coming up this October. I've been on a cruise before. Like, if I'm blissfully unaware of the dangers surrounding me, I'm pretty okay. I can go on boats again, no problem. Jet skis, no problem. I've been tubing. I've tried not jet skiing, water skiing before, but that was terrifying because when I fell in the water, I felt that like fear overwhelm me, and I just like had to get back on the boat as soon as possible. Not really so much lakes unless I'm like out in the middle of the lake. Definitely that fear is more severe in oceans, but regardless, today's story is taking place when my friend and I went out on a jet ski. I live in a town where there's like 3 lakes. There's 3 different lakes. I live on one, my mom lives on another, and my husband actually used to live on the 3rd one, which is ironic. 3 major lakes in my town. So everybody here, you know, everybody owns a boat, or everybody has a jet ski. Like, everybody's pretty accustomed to like water activities, right? So it was just like a random, I think it was a Sunday, that I got together with my family and we went down. My parents have like a plot on the lake. They don't live on the lake, but you can just walk down the street, and they have property rights to it. So we walk down to the lake. The kids are there, the family is there. There's actually like some other neighbors there. It was a pretty busy Sunday, not only at that property, but like over the lake altogether. I just concealed my eyes, by the way, real quick, and I'm just going to dust over my eyes using the Wealthy shade. Just kind of neutral. I was gonna just use a white, but it's shimmery, and I just want like a matte base. So keep in mind, I'm actually trying to work on getting my boating license, and it's not hard. It's very, very time consuming. So to try to find that time to put aside to take the test and everything online, I just haven't really found. So I was not able to obviously like drive the jet ski or anything. But while we're down there, my mom offers if my friend Amber wanted to take me out on the jet ski. She said, I'll watch the kids. More family was on the shore. Like, I did not feel like unsafe leaving her. So I'm like, yeah, like if you don't mind, we'll take a trip around, right? To get today's look started, I am gonna go in with Blue Blood first, and I'm gonna take my Morphe 431 brush. So Amber and I took the jet ski out for just a spin. Now I did offer and asked if Ella wanted to come on. Like, there was plenty of room between me and Amber. She could sit in between us. Obviously, if Ella's on the, if you're unaware, Ella is my almost 6-year-old. Oh, let's try to speak today. Oh my goodness. She's almost 6. She'll be 6 in August. But she's like not afraid of everything, but like she's really nervous about like fast things, fast cars, fast anything. If it goes fast, she doesn't like it. I wanted to convince her to get on this jet ski because I wanted to show her like we can still go slow, but I didn't want her to be afraid of it. When I was a little girl, I remember my dad always taking me out on like the four-wheeler and stuff, and I just didn't want her to be fearful of that and live in fear and like no good fear. You know, I wanted to show her that it was safe, that she was with me and Amber, two people who very much care for her and would not let anything bad happen to her. We took a quick trip just to show her that, you know, like we're having fun and stuff. We circled back around a little bit later and asked if she would like to come on. To blend this eyeshadow out, I'm going to go into I'm Cold, and this one I'm using my Morphe 507 brush. So with a little bit of convincing, we were able to get her on the jet ski. And the kind of cool thing about that particular lake that we're on is that there's like a little convenience store that really caters to the boating community, because there's like a dock you can pull right up. There's empty gas cans so you can go fill up your boat or your jet ski or whatever. You can stop in, grab some snacks and whatnot. So that's what we did. We needed gas in the jet ski anyway, so we pulled up to the dock. I jumped off, I went and got some gas, I took her inside, she was able to get like a little ice cream, and she brought it back to my parents' lot. So that really wasn't like that hard. Amber and I were trying to figure out how to work the pumps. Like, it's kind of confusing without showing you guys, but it was like just a different kind of pump than like a regular gas pump to put it back into your boat or jet ski or whatnot. To deepen up the outer V, I'm gonna take a little bit of Undertaker and a little bit of Blue Monday. So we get Ella's ice cream, we fill up on gas, we go back to the lot so that she can sit with her grandparents and eat her ice cream. And this gave Amber and I an opportunity to take like a quick trip around again. Amber and I wanted to go fast, we wanted to go over the waves, you know, so she was okay with just sitting there and having her ice cream, and we said we would come pick her back up when she was done. So Amber and I take off when she's settled in, and we're having a blast. I mean, like, I am in just tears laughing. We're going over all these waves, we're like just driving kind of crazy. It's just us two, you know. Now, one quick important thing to note is that this jet ski was not new. I don't know where they bought it from, but it was definitely used, and I think it needed some work because I had been out on that jet ski before this particular day, and it kind of stalled on Amber and I while we're in the middle of the lake, but then she just had to like reset something and restart the key, kicked back up, and we're good to go. So while Amber and I were out on the jet ski the second time after we dropped Ella off, we're out there for like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and all of a sudden the jet ski starts kind of sputtering and stops. And now again, I didn't like think anything of it because it's done this before. In my mind, she's just gonna reset something, start the key, and we'll be off again. Oh, no. Okay, so mind you, I am not like the biggest fan of getting into the water. I'm okay if I'm on top of the water, but getting into the water, not my cup of tea, especially for like a period of time. It sputters and dies, and she's trying to start the key, and it is not turning over, it is not turning on. So we're looking at each other, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, we didn't run out of gas, we just filled up on gas. Like, what else could it possibly be? I'm gonna go right into mint tea on a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna pack this right over where I've just put that concealer. So we're looking at each other, trying to figure out like what is going on. We haven't run into this problem yet. You know, we're full up on gas. Our oil was fine. Like, what the heck could be the problem, right? And like I mentioned, the lake was busy. There's jet skis everywhere. There's pontoon boats everywhere. Like, it's busy on the lake. So we're just kind of floating in the middle of the lake, and unfortunately, we were not near the shore. Like, we were in the middle of the lake. And then quickly, I'm going back into I'm Cold right up here, and I'm just basically gonna put it between the really dark shade and that minty shade I just applied on my lids. So I'm looking at Amber for answers because I don't know what the heck is going on. You know, I did not take that boating course. She was familiar when it stalled the last couple of times. Like, she knew what to do. You could tell she didn't know what the heck was going on, and that scared me. I was like, oh god, oh god, oh god. This is kind of when my panic started sinking in a little bit, but I was still okay. Like, all we were doing was floating. She did have her phone on her, and we tried calling my stepdad and my mom who were back on shore. But to be honest, even if they did answer, there's not much they could have done for us. It's not like we had like a second jet ski or a boat or something that could like pull us back in, but at least they would kind of know what was going on. We're just like floating. We're literally trying to figure out what the heck to do. We know at this point we need help, and we're gonna have to flag down some of the boats around us. Our key did have a whistle, so I started blowing on the whistle, trying to get anybody's attention because we're gonna have to be hauled back to shore. We had a rope, we just needed someone to pull us. So I started blowing on the whistle. I'm still like relatively okay, but I'm getting pretty nervous because, again, open water, not my cup of tea. My full-blown panic attack started when I realized that we were starting to take on a lot of water. Where kind of your feet are in a jet ski, it was just filling with water. And I'm like, Amber, are we sinking? Mind you, we had our life jackets on. Like, you know, we're not stupid. We're gonna take precautions and be safe and stuff. So like, even if it did sink, I wouldn't have been taken down with it, kind of thing. But I'm like, now my heart is pounding. I can feel myself starting to hyperventilate, and I'm like, Amber, 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 like, this is sinking, this is sinking, this is sinking. So she's trying to be the calm one in the situation, and she's like, it's okay, like, we'll be okay. And I'm like, no, we're sinking though. I am not a great person to have in a stressful situation, let's just say that. So I am just desperately like shoveling water out. Amber ends up jumping off the jet ski because she figures you take a little bit of the weight off the jet ski that it won't take on so much water so fast. So she jumps off because y'all know I'm not gonna go up. That sounds horrible, but I was so scared. She jumps off and I am just shoveling water like out of the jet ski where your feet are. I truly think we're about to lose this jet ski and it is going to sink to the bottom of the lake. So now I am desperately looking for help. We're looking around at like all the boats passing around us. We're like standing up, waving our arms, just trying to flag down anybody because I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to sink the jet ski. We've had it for like 2 weeks and I'm gonna sink it. It's gonna be in the middle of this lake forever and there's nothing that I can do about it. My foundation might be a little bit light because I keep naturally tanning just from being outside so much, so I am gonna try to darken it a bit with contour and whatnot, but yeah, if it's not god, it's not a match at all. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of a darker foundation and try to even this out a little bit. I think that's a little better. I just went over with a Maybelline Fit Me foundation that was just a little bit darker. I use it more often when I tan, but I don't feel like it's as, still a little masky, but I am trying to also drag it down to my neck, and hopefully by the end of it, it won't really be noticeable. So it does take us a little while to finally get somebody's attention. So at this point, I'm having like a full-blown panic attack. And I felt awful because anybody in a stressful situation like that would want everybody to be calm. I just couldn't. I thought I was gonna drown, which was so stupid because I had a life jacket on, but like I really thought, I felt awful about how I reacted later. I literally texted Amber like later that night and apologized for the way I reacted because thank God she was so calm because I would not have been. Well, I wasn't. I don't know what I would have done, to be honest with you. I probably would have tried to swim back to shore or something. But that's the thing. Even though we had a rope, we were just too far from a shore still. We could see our plot, but it was just too far. So eventually we were able to get a little, it wasn't a pontoon, but there was probably like 4 or 5 teenage boys on it. I don't know. They were probably like 18, 19 years old. I think they were my brother's age, and he's 21. They actually asked if I knew my brother when they finally like rescued us and whatnot. So we flagged down this ship, right? This boat. We explained the situation. We're like, we're stuck. We have a rope. We literally just need someone to pull us to shore. And we like pointed over to the right. We said, it's like over there. You'll see a giant floating unicorn, which is my daughter's. Amber is still in the water, mind you. So she goes in the front of the jet ski, pulls out the rope, and hands it to me so I can toss it over to the boat. So I tossed it over to the guys, and they tied it off or whatever, or held on to it. I'm not really sure what they did, to be honest with you. But they had the rope, and they started hauling us. So Amber's still in the water. She is holding on to the back of the jet ski while we're being hauled. Eventually, she was like able to pull herself up while we're moving. But we literally pulled back onto shore expecting everyone to be like, oh my God, what happened? Nobody freaking blinked an eye. Everybody was like, oh. Meanwhile, I'm still hyperventilating. I'm still trying to come down from a panic attack. It's not easy. If you actually struggle with panic attacks, like, you could be like out of the danger and still like have a hard time coming down because your adrenaline is just like pumping, you know? So the moral of that story is that I learned that my family is pretty unhelpful in those situations. No, it was a lot of fun before that. That was just like the most terrifying. And it doesn't sound scary. To be honest, like looking back, it's not that scary, but I truly thought, I think one of the scariest things was just like losing the jet ski. Oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna watch this thing sink. Can they do that? I don't even know if they can just like fill up with water like that and sink. I don't know how. You know, obviously they're built. I know you can like tip them and stuff. I've done that before. But yeah, that is the story time about how I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video, how I got stranded on a sinking jet ski. That sounds really dramatic, but in my mind, that's exactly what was happening. So that just might be the title. Let's go ahead and finish up my eyes. I am really running out of time. I am gonna go in with the NYX Faux Liner in Mint Cream, and I'm gonna put this on my waterline. Ooh! I'm also gonna bring the liner just on the lower lash line as well. I took a little bit of Blue Blood and Ice Cold back on this brush, and I'm just gonna sweep it right underneath that lash line. To be honest, I don't really have that many, like I was trying to think of maybe another boating story time or something for you guys while I kind of do the last couple steps on my makeup this morning, but I don't really have that much. To be honest, boats were like one of those things that I wasn't on that much. It's not that I don't like boats, but I've never actually, when I was younger, my stepdad owned a like white and blue speedboat that I remember vividly that we would always go on, and I loved going fast on it. But as I got older, that kind of stopped. I think he had like sold the boat and stuff because we weren't really using it anymore as the kids got older. But my husband and I had been talking, like when we eventually want to go and sell this home, that we probably want to look for property on the lake. And I've always been kind of nervous about that just because I like horror movies, and I feel like every time someone lives on a lake, someone ends up drowning in a lake. So somebody with young kids who was terrified of that kind of open water, you know, I didn't want to like wake up to my children out in the lake. You know what I mean? But that fear is pretty irrational. So, but I do like living on a lake. He grew up directly on a lake. I am gonna go in with the, just because we're doing all blue today, I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop BFF liner. But this is the blue one. I forget what the color was. I think it was called Crazy. But it's pretty dark. It's almost black. Still not great with that felt tip liner. I definitely feel like the green was a little bit easier to apply. A couple makeup tutorials ago, not my last tutorial, but the one before that, I used the green BFF liner. This one I'm having a hard time getting like a solid line without it skipping too much. Threw on a little bit of mascara, and just because I feel like it, I'm gonna try out that second e.l.f. Liquid shadow that I introduced in last in the last tutorial. Last time we used the black one. This time we're using Bling Bling, which is kind of a silver. And I just want to apply this in that inner corner because I didn't put any eyeshadow there. I just put a little bit of that my waterline. I love these things. I would recommend going to get them. I think they were, again, $5 or something. I'm a big fan of them, to be honest with you. And again, I love the little packaging. I think they're so dainty and cute. They kind of remind me of like little lip glosses or something. For lashes today, I'm using my Lily Lashes Miami Flare. While I give those a moment to get tacky, I'm just gonna bronze up my face. Honestly, just a little bit because I cream contoured today. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit, of my Milani Berry Amore number 3 baked blush. And I'm actually gonna just tap it kind of on the highest points of my cheekbones. Not really centered here, but more to give me like a lifted look today. Because I don't really so much want a ton of color on the cheeks, just a little tiny flush. Going into my Morphe highlighting palette, I'm gonna take a little bit of Stardust. Oh, this kind of has a little bit of a pinky undertone. Is that what I wanted? Not really. I'm gonna go in with a little extra too because that one's kind of more of a bronze and go right over that. I didn't realize how pink Stardust came off. I thought it was more just like a whiter highlighting shade, but okay. And lastly, for my lips, I actually really like the combination I used last time. So I went in first with Morphe's Virgin. That sounded weird. Morphe's Virgin. And then right over that, I am going in with Jeffree Star's Can't Relate. Okay, so I'm still trying to allow my hair to set in place. Like I basically back comb this whole like back section and then I just spray it, but then I leave it. So it's really frizzy and kind of looks all over the place at the moment. But I leave it until my hairspray completely dries and then I'll go in with my teasing brush and kind of smooth out the top a little bit more. I'm trying to make it look like not as crazy because I am trying to end my video, but that's kind of what I do. But I just took out my hair, brushed it a little bit. It was in curlers all night. It is not perfect, but to be honest, I don't have time this morning. I gotta get going. This is the shirt color that inspired me today. Honestly, I got this for like $9 at Forever 21 and it's just super cute. Like, it almost reminds me of those like peasant tops. But anyways, guys, I do gotta get going. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, I know it's not an original like look. I've done looks similar to this before, but today I just wanted to come on, share that story time, hopefully make you guys smile or laugh at my expense. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Also, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Also, check out my main channel if you want to. It's kind of like my family channel. That's linked as well. And I hopefully will see you guys in my next video. Bye!